I want to thank everybody for coming to Volusia County, which is a sunny place for shady people. It has been my biggest disappointment in my career to work with such a bunch of sneak thieves as we have in our county council. There is only one council member that has any guts to stand up for the people of Volusia County and to fight against what I believe is a corrupt backdoor organization in the Volusia County government, and that's Councilwoman Heather Post. And I want to thank her, along with the thousands and thousands of people who have supported us in our battle against these folks here standing behind me. You know, I don't know what to say other than let's look at the facts here. Something as important as Amendment 10, it's ratified by 63% of the voters in the state of Florida, almost 54% of the voters in Volusia County. But the powers that be decide, we don't like it, so we're going to file lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit to prevent it. They've already filed lawsuits. They filed lawsuits to keep it off the ballot. It got on the ballot. Now, our wonderful chairman, who's nothing but an empty suit and a sneak thief, because again, when they did this yesterday, they did it at the very, very, very end of a 7-hour council meeting. Didn't post it for public comments or anything. That's how they operate. But our wonderful county chairman will continue to lie. It'll cost $10 million, he's telling the people in Volusia County. But what they don't tell you is, when Amendment 10 gets implemented, and it's going to get implemented, they will lose 1/3 of their workforce as it breaks apart. But yet Volusia County is going to insist on hiring more people to do that. There's where one of the cost initiatives is. And if you follow Volusia County government closely, what is the famous line that our useless puppet chairman talks about? The voters won't understand. They won't understand impact fees. They don't know what they voted for in Amendment 10. They don't understand. We can't explain what's going on with the morgue. People just won't understand. So what you have is, you have a group of individuals here, led by our slimeball county attorney, who has decided that the voters are stupid. These folks are handpicked to run for office by a small group of rich individuals, and they take their marching orders from them. That's why we got a county chairman who's useless, who hasn't done a damn thing. He thought he was going to run and make $96,000 a year and take orders from a county manager who was subsequently gone, who was a cancer for this county, and everybody knows it. And now you've got a slime bag attorney here who wants to block the will of the people. This is an affront to democracy. It was vetted through the courts, people voted on it, and now they want to play games that'll drag this out for years and years and years. Basically, they're telling Volusia County residents and the voters of the state of Florida, screw you, we know better than you. And I can tell you, I'm going to fight back as hard as I can to expose a bunch of weak-livered individuals that we have up here making decisions for this county. They're not making decisions that are best for Volusia County or for the state of Florida. They're making decisions that are best for them. This group of people does not support public safety a little bit. They don't support my deputies, they don't support fire, they don't support EMS. Go back and look at their documented statements that they make. And recently, Deb Denny's has been quoted as saying, since the public safety unions didn't back me, watch what I do when their contracts come forward. So that's what you got, is a bunch of evil people that are interested in one thing, and that's clinging to power. And that's a sad, sad thing. They were elected to bring change, elected to bring progress to this county, but as long as you got this gang up there, man, Volusia County lags way behind. 67 counties in the state of Florida. Nobody has a problem with Amendment 10, except Volusia County. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why would you fight so hard to preserve something? Because it's really simple. They don't want you looking behind the curtain and looking at the budget. I and my staff, in preparation for Amendment 10, have asked repeatedly for access to the county's budget system. They have a software system, and we have repeatedly been denied. You know why? Because we're too stupid to understand it. That's the same thing they tell the taxpayers. Small group of people controlling a lot of us. I don't think we should stand for it. I demand that Ed Kelly resign from office for his lack of leadership and for being a puppet for the special interest of this county. And I hope that the county residents demand that he step down. Demand, why do we do things at the end of a meeting we don't acknowledge publicly? This isn't the first time they've done this. They do it repeatedly, and it flies in the face of transparency. There is no transparency in this county. It's all about backroom deals. It's all about protecting big developers. And it's all about screwing the people that pay the taxes in this community. So now that I have done that, and I am ready to check myself in Halifax Hospital for high blood pressure, does anybody want to feel free to ask me anything you want?
Sheriff, the county has been saying a big portion of this has been the cost that would be put on taxpayers if this amendment were to go through. How much would it actually cost for your department to implement what it would want to do with amendments?
It's a great question. Nobody knows. Nobody knows because they won't give us access to the information. You know, there is a county-wide system. It's public record. Yet when we meet, when my transition team meets and says we want to get in there, oh, you won't understand it. We can't let you in there. And suppose somebody hits a button and they'll wipe out the entire budget. You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me. So nobody knows what the cost is going to be. But I can tell you, Brevard County and Flagler County aren't sliding into the Atlantic Ocean because they have constitutionally elected people. Neither is Pinellas or Hillsborough County. They're not sliding into the Gulf of Mexico. Why are they fighting so hard to protect something? Because what it does is, the people that put them in power, it'll cut right into it. Everything will become open. It'll be open. If I get access to that budget, you don't think I'm going to let everybody in there see what that budget looks like? What the county's budget really is? Not the summary that they give us, or they give in a public records request. Why can we not see where every dollar's going? We can't come up with a game plan that will save money or be cost effective if you don't allow me to get in to what is public record.
The number that we've heard quoted is like around 10 million or so. All the county people said in the millions. Did you buy that?
Prove it. Prove it. Because when I debated Ed Kelly and cleaned his clock, when I debated him in front of the chamber, he backpedaled from that 10 million. Well, we really don't know what it's going to be. Sure, you don't know what it's going to be. It'll be whatever they want it to be. You know, all they have done in this whole campaign was try to confuse and have voters be scared to death. Chitwood wants a new building. The sheriff's office wants a new $80 million building. We never said that. We never said that at all. Ever. Chitwood wants to have the ability to raise taxes. No sheriff has the right to raise taxes in the state of Florida. So all they do is they keep putting this off. And you got to keep asking yourself, and as a cop I ask myself, why are you fighting so hard to preserve this? And the reason is they don't want the taxpayers in Volusia County to know where all the money goes. You know, Hope Place is a classic example. They come in and ask for $1 million. When they leave the county manager's office, they leave with $3 million. Now, where did that $2 million come from, number one? And number two, I've been doing this a long time. You walk into a county manager's office and you ask for $1 million, you got to fight tooth and nail, and you're lucky if you even come close. Yet they come in and ask for $1 million and get $3 million. And that was said publicly when they christened Hope Place. This is without a doubt, I'm going to borrow a line from Upton Sinclair, the great journalist of the 1900s. He once called Philadelphia corrupt and content. Well, you know what? In 2018, Volusia County, with these knuckleheads in charge, Volusia County is nothing but corrupt and content. And the sad part is, nobody wants to do anything about it.
You mentioned on Twitter about, possibly getting some help from the Sheriff's Association legally. What would that be like?
I can tell you for a fact that the Florida Sheriff's Association, every sheriff in the state of Florida, every property appraiser, every clerk of the courts, every supervisor of elections is lining up with their legal team to stand behind us with this lawsuit, because this lawsuit is frivolous. Every attorney that's looked at it said this is nothing more than an attempt by Volusia County to stall the inevitable for years and years and years, and they're basically telling the taxpayers, screw you, you don't know what you're talking about. Imagine what we're going to do now. We don't like the person that ran for mayor and won. So we'll find something and we'll file a lawsuit to prevent that person from becoming mayor or governor or senator or city commissioner. This was voted on. There was an election that was held. All of the challenges were out there. Volusia County challenged it. They challenged the bundling issue. They challenged the wording issue. And now they're challenging something obscure again. And that's what a lack of leadership is. The voters did it. Ed Kelly's got a responsibility, but he has shunned his responsibility constantly. Constantly. They have a meeting to discuss something, and he berates crime victims. He berates Heather Post. He can't respect his own commissioner. He don't have any respect for her when you watch what he does to her on the podium. So if he can get away with this, certainly he's telling the voters of Volusia County, you're too stupid to understand the issues. What are they so afraid of?
Sheriff, you mentioned bundling. One of the issues the county had brought up the other day was that this issue was bundled with others, Veterans Affairs, terrorism. Do you feel voters would have voted the same had this issue been by itself?
I think we would have got more votes had it been by itself. And let's go back to history. When their precious charter, this document that we attribute to being written by Jefferson and Adams in Washington, was written in 1970, there were 15 items were bundled for a yes or no vote. And 22,000, I think, voted, 16,000 voted yes, 11,000 voted no. So that was 27,000 people in 1970. The county has changed so much, you had over 200,000 people voted in this election on that issue. But yet they'll tell you, well, it didn't get 60%. It didn't have to get 60%. It had to get 60% statewide. No other county in the state of Florida is challenging this but the rocket scientists here, because they got a hold on the power. Why are they so afraid of it?
So you don't buy that voters were confused or voted for something?
I don't buy it because the Supreme Court ruled that the language was clear as day. And I think undervoting, you know, I'm not an elections specialist, but if you look at undervoting in Volusia County, there's very little undervoting. It was very clear. There was enough commercials out there, and I think a lot of us worked hard to explain what was going to happen here. They bundled 15 things to get the charter in 1970. It was okay. But 4 things, and it's not okay. Either way, the voters have spoken. You don't like Donald Trump because he's the President of the United States? He's the President of the United States for the next 4 years. You don't like that Rick Scott got elected? He won. He's the senator. You can't change it. But yet in Volusia County, as I say over and over again, the vote of the people does not count. I've said it since the day I got elected. It doesn't matter what the people think. It matters what a few rich people that control these puppets think. You actually have a county council person who thinks she was elected to uphold the charter of Volusia County. Now, I saw that pledge, and I never saw anywhere where any of us that were elected said we uphold the charter of Volusia County. It says we uphold the Constitution of the state of Florida and the Constitution of the United States.
You call the county council corrupt. Is there proof of that corruptness?
Take a look at everything that goes on. You cover county council, you see it. Look at the payout to Jim Deneen. Do you think that was not, no investigation at all? $50,000, let's back up, you got me really flying along here. $50,000 study was paid for impact fees, okay? Results come back. County doesn't like the results because it says we gotta change impact fees. We need to change the way we do business here. What do they do with it? They hide it in a desk drawer. A taxpayer document is hidden. Why was it hidden? Because the developers didn't want that to get out there. The same thing with the morgue. The morgue was a horrible place. You had 2 professional women, highly educated, highly respected in their field. When they brought up the fact that there was problems out at the morgue that needed to be addressed, what did they do? They stuck it under a desk and they turned around and attacked 2 women who were top of their field and made them look like they were crazy because everything runs so perfectly in Volusia County.
Do you plan to investigate that level of corruptness?
We don't have that. I don't have subpoena power. I can't subpoena anything. I can't get into my own budget to work my own budget, let alone go out and conduct an investigation where I don't have subpoena power. That's what's lacking. Now, if we were a constitutional office, things would be a lot different here. Things would be kept on their toes. There'd be more transparency because more people would be looking at that sacred budget document that's not allowed to get out. And it's not. This has been going on for years. When I was the police chief in Daytona Beach, when we were looking at joining Consolidated Dispatch, and we asked for a line item breakdown, line by line, what does it cost to run dispatch? You got that general budget that everybody else gets. That's not what we wanted. You couldn't base a decision on that. It's the same thing as we're going forward now. Something as simple as allow us in to look at the budget. No, you're not going to get that. We'll give you a summary. Why? What are you hiding? Why? Because we're too stupid. That's the answer.